Alright, getting ready to drop the fuel tank and flush the system out. And I found that it is easier just to pull the drive shaft back out of the way and just tie it up. Just makes it easier for me to get in there and get to everything. Alright, now that we have the fuel tank out, which is always fun, before you take the fuel pump out, you need to clean all this stuff here out. All this dirt, just take the air line, blow all that stuff out. Also, something you need to look at is your vents. They're supposed to have a hose on there, and they dry rot, fall off, and a lot of dirt gets in there so you want to get a new hose and run. That's your vent breather hoses. You might want to wear some out protection because it flies everywhere. Blow these things off a little bit. The less dirt you have on top of the tank up here, the less chance you got of getting shit back into your tank when you're cleaning stuff out. So the better you clean it off, the better off you are. All right. You hold that for me. Driver, is it recording? A hammer. Pop that ring off. Now, you see there's still a lot of stuff around here. You want to blow all that off before we pop the seal. Bob can edit all this stuff out. Alright, now that we got all that cleaned up around there, we'll break the seal on this. And then you can pull your pump out. Just be careful when you pull it out, you don't tear anything up. Alright, now that we got the pump pulled out, you can see all that pretty garbage there in the bottom. Let me see if I can get this in here without a glare. And you can see some shiny stuff. That shiny stuff is metal. That's coming from a pump somewhere. It's hard to get a good angle where you can actually see it. But it's in there. You can. It's just hard to see with this camera. But anyways, something else you got to look for is, oh man, you see all that garbage in there? If you do not pull this apart, clean it, you are wasting your time with any of the rest of this.
So you can see that baffle in there. This is how he,
You can see the baffle?
yeah, props it up at an angle after he swishes it, and all that junk should run all the way down to the bottom here. Kind of hard to see the angle. But anyway, so he gets down and he'll do that a couple of times. And that's about the only way to get up front because of all the baffles and such in the way.
Alright, now that we got it cleaned out, you can see a lot more of the garbage in there. Like Bob was showing, you slosh the tank around and kind of get everything to that end is about the only way to clean and get past that baffle. You really can't get to the other side of that. So, like I said, I just kind of swish it up and slosh it back and forth real good. Set it up on this end, and then all the garbage will drain to this end. You see all the dirt, all the contaminants. So anyways, they don't make these things to come apart. You're not supposed to take them apart, but if you're real careful, you can actually get it apart without breaking it. just spread those little plastic things there. This one slides up out of the way. I don't know if you can see it. There's 3 little locks here that actually lock up here on top of the pump that I've already broken loose. They're a pain in the butt, but again, if you're careful, you can do it without breaking anything. And then once I pull it out, you'll see it. There are 2 locks, a lock here and another one up in here that locks on this edge. And if you stick a skinny screwdriver up in there, this way you can pop it loose and unlock this whole thing. Just be careful not to tear nothing up when you're taking it apart. But you can see, now that we've got it pulled up, you can see all the garbage in there. I highly recommend that you replace these versus trying to tear it apart and clean it, because again, they break real easy, and if you break it, you're replacing it anyways. So it's easier just to replace it. Again, especially if you're doing it yourself. If you're not careful, like I said, you can break this stuff. It's brittle. It's been sitting in fuel for years, and it's a mess. The pump apart, this stuff all clips up onto the bottom of the hooks up onto the bottom of the pump here. But you can see that this is the strainer that also goes onto the pump, and you can see all the garbage that's in there. Obviously that causes restriction, starves your pump for fuel, which eventually burns your pump up also. I don't know if you've seen the video, the metal shavings in the bottom of the fuel tank come from a fuel pump that's starving for fuel. And you can see in there, all that garbage has to come out. That's why we would suggest that you replace it versus trying to clean it. Because again, it is extremely hard to get all this apart without breaking something. Now, you have to take all this stuff off before you can pull it out. But it's easier to show you how it goes back together, not inside there. And it is a really big pain in the ass to put it back together once you get it inside there. Another reason that we suggest you just buy a new one. This little piece goes inside that hole there. This tube goes in that hole. Slides in like so. And then your screen, this tube goes in that hole, and then this kind of spring here just kind of helps hold pressure to hold it all together. And that's the way it should look once you get it back together. Unfortunately, you can't put it in there that way, so you have to do all this inside there, which takes a lot of time, and it is aggravating as I'll get out. All right, another quick note. You see these lines here? You see how black they are? Well, every one of these little grooves can get that same black stuff built up inside there. So that's another thing. You have to make sure you flush all this out. Again, that's why we suggest you replace it versus trying to flush it, because if you do not get all that flushed out, you're just going to put it right back into your injectors, and then that's a big waste of money. All right, we got the tank all cleaned out here. Let me make you nice and dizzy. Light in there. I see them dark spots there is just stain. We got all the garbage cleaned out of it. You know, wipe everything down real good. Again, there's another stain there, but all the dirt's gone. Before I actually cleaned out the tank, I took an air hose and I blew the dirt and stuff out of these vents. We'll put new lines on those. And we also got him a We're just going to replace the fuel pump. We're not going to try to clean that one out. We're just going to replace it. We don't have to mess with all that. He don't want to take that chance. All right, we got his new fuel pump in. Everything's clean. Got everything flushed out. Don't forget you need to flush your filler tubes and vent tube. Cleaned out his vent lines. Just put some little cheap lawnmower fuel filter on there. You can see it looks like it's got a little bit of oil left in it there. I put some transmission fluid through it. That way it makes it nice and sticky and the dust will stick to it instead of going through it. And then just tuck those up out of the way. This is make sure you use a piece of fuel line. Replace those breather vents. The same thing on that side there. New piece of fuel line and a filter that just kind of helps with the dust. Just kind of tuck it out of the way there. Now his fuel tank is cleaned up and ready to put back in. Now I just have to flush all the lines and the pump, the CP3, the rail, the filter housing, all that's got to be flushed out too. There'll be more videos for that. All right, I'm going to flush the fuel lines. This is my little pressure flusher I was telling you about. You could probably make something like that. This is just an old AC flush machine. I put solvent, 91% rubbing alcohol, you know, mineral spirits, whatever solvent you're going to use to flush your lines. Just make sure it's something that evaporates fairly easy so that you can, excuse me, so that you can get the all of it out of your lines. I mean, that's just kind of what we have set up. Just got a little nozzle on there. What I'll do is I'll plug that into, this is the feed line, goes to the filter housing up there. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to blow that through there, and everything that's in this line is going to blow all the way out of that line and right into the filter housing, which I have not cleaned yet. And that is why, because all this is going to go right back into this is your return line. That also comes out of the filter housing. I'm going to blow back in that also. And all that will go up into the filter housing, and then I'll clean out the filter housing and blow from the filter housing back this way, and that shall get everything, you know, blow both directions. That way you get it, everything, you know, as much as you can. The cleaner it is, the longer it's going to last. And then I'll come up here, and you can't really see it, but the filter housing is up there. I'll unplug it from them lines here. I'll unhook these two lines and blow back the other direction, and that'll get those flushed out. All right, I just flushed from the back up to the front, up into the filter housing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook these lines right here at the filter housing. I'm coming right to the wheel well here so you can see. This is driver's side, front tire, right up through here. You got this fitting right here, and then you have this fitting up here. Just like the ones that hook off the fuel pump, you just squeeze it and pull it off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to unhook those, obviously, and flush back through the other way so it blows out the back side. I'll get that done, and we'll be back. Okay, I got both of these lines unhooked. You can see, here's one here, the other one right here. Now I can't operate our pressure spray gun and the camera at the same time, but some spray gun here. We'll stick it in there and blow it back through the other side, and we'll get back to you. Okay, now I'm back up top. I flushed everything up into the filter housing. Now I'm going to clean the filter housing. It's kind of hard to get a good angle on it, but you can see some garbage in there around the bottom. We'll clean that out real good. Then I'll pull the line off here. I've got the top part pulled off here. And what I'll do is I'll use my air nozzle fits in there pretty good. I'll blow my air nozzle through there. I'll just use my fingers and plug that where that banjo bolt goes through. I'll pull the other one off on the bottom of the rail here, and that will flush right through the pump. And it'll blow right back out, right there. Rough, man. I ain't never been able to knock one screw through, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. I'm going to take this banjo bolt out right there. You can't see it with my hand in the way.
I can't see anything with your
There,
hand
right
in the
there.
way. Oh,
Where
okay.
my finger's at. That one right there. We're going to take that banjo bolt out right there.
Okay. And that's a fuel pump return too.
Yeah.
So. Oh, that's nice. Just bend it, you ate.
Taught me well.
So this one. Okay. That's your return off the pump. So if your actual CP3 has excessive return, you still could end up with a flashing grid light and all the other things happening there. So that's why they make those fittings to isolate the returns from the actual injector returns. Okay, what I didn't have time to record is you can blow air through that banjo fitting that goes up to the fuel filter housing from the pump. That's your fuel return, but you can get a lot of fuel out of that. Even I was thinking maybe you could just leave that off when you get everything done and just crank and let it start. And the truck should start, and meanwhile that could be draining into a pan. Even if you just left the banjo bolt out and caught it underneath the truck, just run it and get as much of that dirty fuel out of there as you can. As far as the fuel filter, on the back of that there's the return line. You can take that also, instead of going to the tank, hook a rubber hose to it and have that go into a pan and run it, a couple of gallons. So if you can run a couple of gallons through both the CP3 and its returns going into a pan and the fuel returns going into the same pan on the other side of the filter housing that runs to the back of the tank, I think you pretty much flushed it then. That's all I got time for. All right, folks. And of course, don't forget to take every line off the rail and blow it all out. With the air hose. You got to get every bit of it out of that rail too. The rail comes off with just 2 bolts if you want to go that far. And then get everything, like I said, blown out. Every bit of it, tubes, every bit of it. You need to get it clean. The cleaner it is, the longer it will last. Micro-contamination could eat away at it for the next year if you miss some. So anyway, good luck.